We're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, also as well, Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Go ahead and check out our thoughts this week as Chris Ardieri and Magic Man Sean Grice stop by to go ahead and share their thoughts on NFL Week 6. Right there for you at Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Plus, of course, again, the Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week. Twice a week, where we cover the latest Marvel news, the latest DC news, and a certain Taylor Swift movie that is going to take over the box office this weekend. We cover it all right there at the Pop Culture Cosmos. Also, as well, Joe Soro. He's back. He's talking. Right there is Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. Plus, go ahead and support his company today. If you live in the Southern California area and you need a new lawn in your life, go ahead and check out Simblades. Simblades with the Y.com. Plus, also as well, go ahead and check out the guys at Lakerholics.com. They'll be by at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday. That's right. Laker Tom and Jamie Sweet, along with Magic Man Sean Grice, they'll be here talking all the great things going on with the Lakers. Lakerholic Spotlight, but go ahead and check them out each and every day. Laker Tom, the #1 Lakers blogger that's out there, and Mr. Five Things himself, who's performing right now in Southern California. Playing the guitar right now. They're at normally Lakerholics.com. Our good friends, Empire Jeff, also as well, Lakers in 5, and of course, John McCallion. Go ahead and support their great YouTube channels. And speaking of YouTube, please go ahead and click on the little Joe next to the big Joe right there. And when you do, you go ahead and get the latest notifications when we go live on the air because you're subscribed. And we need as many subscribers as we can get because we want to be the best and biggest out there of all the Laker channels. And you can help us out by subscribing today to be a part of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Well, I'm going to dwell on the positive for now. That's the first half of the game today for the Lakers and the Warriors. And the Lakers with LeBron and AD back in the lineup look strong, shot well from the outside. At one time, they were well over 50% from behind the arc, well over 50% from the field. Defense was a little bit suspect, but then again, when you have a high-octane offense like the Lakers have shown over the course of the past few games, really didn't matter as the Lakers pulled out to a 7-point lead at the half and scored 70 points once again. Really, really good. And then, of course, the third quarter, okay, not too bad. Didn't have LeBron or AD out there, but they still maintained, some semblance of, I guess we could say, some semblance of the offense, but the defense started to falter. And in the fourth quarter, unfortunately, with the game tied 100-100 going into the fourth quarter, Darvin Ham once again put in the rooks as he did before. And once again, the rookies managed to let the lead get away from them. But unfortunately, no magic tricks this time around as a controversial call with Jalen Hood-Schifino getting fouled, unfortunately got overturned. And that led to the Golden State Warriors 129-125 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers are now 2-2 on the season as they head into their next exhibition game Sunday at 4 p.m. right there for you against the Milwaukee Bucks. And here today to talk about the good things that went on in today's game, about what the rotation might look like, and also who played well in today's game. Good man indeed. First man up, first man here. He's the madman from Toronto. He did get out of Toronto traffic, but he also got out of Caribbean traffic to go ahead and talk about the Lakers. It's an inside joke in our email. Just wanted to let everybody know. But it is the Magic Man, Sean Grice. Magic Man, great to have you here. Talking about the Lakers, I will say again, another impressive performance for Torian Prince, 5 of 6, 4 of 5 from behind the arc. Mr. 40%, as I call him, 17 points. Not too shabby. D'Angelo Russell, not too bad as well, 5 of 8. Really solid signs from him, plus 14 with 12 points and 6 assists. LeBron James kind of cruised again through this game, 12 points, 4 of 8 overall, 103 from behind the arc, 12 points, 5 rebounds. And Anthony Davis, 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Not too bad. Seemed like the Lakers were really humming on all offensive cylinders in that first half. And that's what we should focus on, because with the help of Christian Wood as well, with 13 points and 7 rebounds, they really looked good in that first half.
Yeah, they did, Gerald. They did. And there was a good sprinkling of Max Christie involved into the offense as well. And he made his open shots in the first half. So hats off to Max Christie. We're looking for him to continue that as well. But for the most part, Gerald, it was what you saw is what you get. There were positive signs. LeBron having 5 assists and 8 shot attempts was actually really nice to see. That means the offense is generating very good shots. If LeBron almost has a 1-to-1 assist to field goal attempt ratio, Gerald, that means he's not looking to invest in taking bad 3-point shots.
Yep.
If other guys are hitting their spots and making the shots, and I agree with Gerald. The offense was humming, and then the third quarter happened, and wheels kind of fell off the bus towards the end. But with the rotation of players in there, those 9 rotational players, Gerald, we scored 70 points in the first half again.
Yeah.
We saw the backup score 75. So the fact that all of our rotational players managed to score 70, very good sign. Very good sign.
Jackson Hayes, unfortunately, did not have quite a good game as well. 3 points, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, and minus 10 overall. Not a rebound from him, which I think was the most concerning statistic right there. This was by far away his worst performance. Should you take anything from that, or should you go ahead and take the good that he's displayed so far? We always talk about how Max Christie is on the fringe of the rotation, and Rodell sent us another email for today, LakersFastBreak at yahoo.com, saying, again, how we are incorrect and he is correct on Max Christie's assessment as far as being in the rotation. He did get some decent minutes today. All I'm saying is Jackson Hayes, up until this point, was a really solid play, but it looks like after today, it's still up in the air on anyone's guess on the back end of that rotation.
Yeah, it is. It is, Gerald, because as Jackson Hayes' play has kind of slid a little bit in this game, Christian Woods played a couple of very good games back to back here.
Yeah, 13.7 rebounds. Max Christie, though, 2 of 5, but 2 of 3 behind the arc and 6 points.
Yeah, 19 minutes, though. Didn't really play much in the second half. Did a lot of his damage in the first half. But yeah, I would say it like we were saying, Gerald, it'd be interesting to get Joe's thoughts on the rotations. But we kind of thought that Hayes had cemented himself within the group of 9, I guess you would call them. I still think he is. It was just a little subpar effort tonight, but that can happen. Gerald, I think one of the concerns that we had last year has bled over into this preseason.
The offensive rebounding was killing us.
It's awful. It's been an awful problem for a long time, and Gerald and we were kind of speaking aloud about what the issues might be, and Gerald had it hit it right on the nail on the head. It's coaching. It's coaching. We see it. You have at least 3 to 4 Lakers at one time when a shot goes up that are beneath the free throw line. So there's only one defender ready to go back, trailing if there's a transition opportunity. And nobody boxes out unless it's Vando or AD on the floor.
These kids should be, especially in that last quarter, they should be like a sponge with the coaching staff and just remembering everything that's being taught to them. So it's obvious that not enough is being taught to them when it comes to going ahead and hitting the boards correctly.
Not at all, Gerald. No, and this is going to be extremely frustrating this year if if we're going to be a higher volume 3-point shooting team. There are going to be moments where you need at least two guys back there if nobody's grabbed the offensive board. But when you got 4 out of your 5 starters beneath that line, you have to emphasize that somebody needs to get the board, or at the very least, everybody resets, because we saw it again. The Lakers unable to grab the defensive board, and as Gerald said, it's jailbreak. It's a scrambled egg scenario, and that's got to be fixed.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. It is, of course, us here. Gerald Glassford, along with Magic Man Sean Grice. Thanks so much for watching and listening. The Lakers unfortunately lose 129 to 125. Also here today, a good man indeed. He is, of course, Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe Soro from Simblades, Simblades with a Y.com. And thank you so much to Intel giving us not one, but 2 super chats so far. First up, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate your thoughts because you're back. You got a chance to now sit down and watch the full game. What's going on today? Intel Wilds comments in the super chat. Prince played like a king tonight and a lot of threes tonight by both teams. Is this really the new NBA? Your thoughts on both of those comments. In fact, when combined, when you can, Prince was just probably a better representation of that because he hit so well from the outside, Mr. 40%. Hopefully he will be.
Well, we're getting a bird's eye view here of why Taurean Prince has been inserted into the starting lineup. First of all, the ball movement was phenomenal in the first quarter. I felt like the chemistry is already connecting. And I was very, very happy with the progress, the quick progress of that in such a short amount of time. So whatever they did in San Diego at LeBron's training camp has obviously helped build some chemistry with this team. And Taurean Prince has taken that 5th spot and said, this is my spot. And it's his spot to lose in the next 2 games. If he continues to play well in the next 2 games, I will. It's pretty much a given that he is going to be the 5th starter, and I'm very happy. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm very happy with the team. I'm very happy with D'Angelo's performance. I'm ecstatic at the ball movement. I'm ecstatic that these guys are hitting those shots that they weren't hitting last year towards the end of the year. It's becoming very positive in that they have depth. You know, this is with Gabe Vincent and Vando not playing today. So imagine if those guys come in and do what they do best, we're going to be in extremely good shape. As far as the rotations are concerned, we talked about this during the game. Sean, if they do indeed run a 9 to 10 man rotation, that means the Lakers are preserving LeBron James. And if you do that with a much lighter LeBron James, for those of you who didn't notice, LeBron has lost a lot of muscle. I would say if I had to give it a visual, I think he may have lost about 12 to 15 pounds. What that's going to do is that's going to obviously lessen the pressure on those knees and those feet. I believe every pound you have, it's 4 pounds of pressure on the joints, especially in the legs, the knees, the ankles. So if we're looking at it, you know, there's always been this number that people like to say in terms of his weight, like 260. I've heard 270. I've even heard 280. I think that's a little exaggerated, but let's just say LeBron was what I think he is, 255. He looks like he's about 240, maybe 242, 243. And that will probably help him out not getting, let's say, injured, tic-tac injuries. Or is it knick-knack injuries, I should say, not tic-tac. So that's something that is positive as well. I wasn't expecting that, but it looks like LeBron does not want to retire in 2025. So, but that's a discussion for another time. But I was very excited. And as much as you guys continue to just be negative about everything, I'm going to pull in some positive stuff here. I was very happy with how the young guys played in the second half. In spots, obviously they were not perfect, but I was actually pretty impressed at their chemistry. And if not for a stupid, idiot, moron, blind, dipstick refereeing, not being able to know what a goddamn foul is, maybe Hood-Schifino would have hit the game-winning free throws and we'd be singing his praises today or tonight. Because believe it or not, this may have been his best controlled game. He had 5 assists. He was getting the ball to the open guy. He just couldn't make squat in terms of shots. But he did get a chance to make maybe 2 free throws to win the game because you have stupid idiot morons who don't know what a foul is, who don't know that getting hit in the face on a shot apparently is a reversible call. Not only did they call it not a foul, it was reversed. The last time I checked, isn't it supposed to be inconclusive or conclusive? Because today looked like it was inconclusive, yet they changed it. Which one is it? So I'm not going to dog the team. I think the refs can all fall off a cliff at this point. That's my only negative for the game. Hood-Schifino needs to go to the gym. And I mean, go to the gym and just shoot the ball. Seriously, that's all. You just shoot the ball. Shoot the ball.
Getting into the lane was pretty good for him. Distributing it, he looked good. It's just that shot is absolutely awful at this point in time.
It's a confidence thing. It's obvious. It's a confidence thing. Demoy Hodge. We said this during the summer. If Demoy is going to put up this kind of effort, and if he's going to hit his shots,
he got some steals too.
He is going to have a career in the NBA. He is going to have a career in the NBA. And as far as our guy during the summer, Colin Castleton, I'm going to say right now, in 2 seasons at most, Colin Castleton will be our starting center. Unless we get some freak trade or free agent that's a center, Colin Castleton. Watch out for him. I was absolutely just elated at how good he looked tonight. And I was already pretty happy with the team's performance in preseason. They've done everything I wanted them to do in this preseason. And this was even before I watched an entire full game because I didn't really watch the first 3 games. I was just too mobile, too busy, either being in certain spots where I couldn't watch the game. But I did catch certain games in spurts. But I'm already very happy with everyone's performance, even the ones that didn't play as well. At least you saw some chemistry. At least you saw some effort there that they, that's all you can ask for with the young guys, especially. They're putting the effort in, they're trying. But the starters and maybe the guys from 7 to 8, hey, man, I'm ready for the NBA season, man. I'm very happy.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers unfortunately lose in the fourth quarter, and
Hayes wasn't bad.
129 to 125.
He wasn't. I have very low expectations for Jackson Hayes. I'm going to be honest. That's just me. Okay.
Today he was bad, Joe.
Well,
1 of 3, 1 of 4 from the line. No rebounds, 3 points, and -10. This was by far his worst game.
The likelihood of the loss tonight, guys, unfortunately, was 14 missed free throws. If they make half of those, the Lakers probably win this game. So if I had to pick why they lost tonight, I'm not blaming the refs, even though they deserve it because they're idiots. I'd say those free throws were the ones that ended up costing them the game. But
also, Joe, he's 7 feet and he got 0 rebounds.
Gerald, there's a reason why he was available.
I understand that, but I'm just saying you were saying he didn't play bad tonight, but I'm just saying he was disappointing tonight.
Right, but
he's been good throughout the exhibition season. He just had
he's unfortunately not likely going to be an impact player. He's going to be a fill-in player, and that's his position. So I didn't even notice, honestly. I was more focused on the pick and roll. I was more focused on ball movement, how the floor was spread. I was looking at the guys that I think can be X factors. Obviously, D'Angelo Russell, Christian Wood, Torian Prince. These guys all did exactly what I was hoping they would do. And at this point, that's how I'm looking at it. If Jackson Hayes does anything good, it's just icing on the cake. If he doesn't play well, it is what it is. It's just what it is.
Once again, the Lakers unfortunately lose 129 to 125. Magic Man, again, when we really talk about the game, we really have to talk about what happened in the first half, because that's really where the Lakers utilized all their players that they had available to them. Christian Wood, a guy who's been under the gun from this show and quite a bit of the audience that's out there, one way or the other. It just seems like he's been very divisive amongst the fan base. And, I said that this guy is going to shoot, and he's going to shoot a lot, and he's going to shoot even more. Today, it was actually really in line with what the Lakers were doing in that first half. 13.7 rebounds. Again, defensively, I'm not going to go ahead and fault him, because defensively, everyone should be at fault when you give up 129 points. But your thoughts on Christian Wood, and I know you've been of the individuals out there in the Lakers Fast Break panelists, you've been the one that's been probably the one that's been the most you got to see Christian Wood, even more than me. Your thoughts on Christian Wood's performance today, and is this Christian Wood you'd like to see during the course of the season?
Definitely, Gerald. How many minutes did he play again tonight?
He played
Was
tonight 13.
13?
Yep.
It's great.
A point a minute.
Well, not only a point a minute, Gerald. He had 7 boards. It's almost a board every 2 minutes. So
yeah, only a -4, but yeah, that's
if he's on the board. If he's on the boards and shooting relatively, not pedestrian, Gerald, then yes, I agree. Obviously, we could all see the talent. You can see him. It's good body language so far, Gerald. He's not sulking or pouting. He's not by himself on the. He's getting good coaching. It looks like he's fitting in well. So he's playing well. And like you said, Gerald, it seemed like tonight he fit like a glove into the system. He kind of came in, understood what was trying to be done, just played his game. Yeah, bravo to Christian Wood. He looked good tonight. I will say this. I will say this though. I will say this. Yes, of all the people on this panel, I saw almost Gerald, almost caught myself there.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm getting better at that. I was the one who was complaining the most about the officiating, and I'm sure Joe and Gerald couldn't give two about it at the time, but they also eventually saw the problems. And Joe, I agree with you. One of these officials has almost 1,000 games coached in the NBA, and the other guy has less than 200. But you know what? The rules are the rules now, and they're copping out the refs, Joe. If a shot like that goes up and there's a difference of opinion, they can always play the ambiguity card, Joe. They always go, well, he saw one thing, I saw it a different way, and now we're gonna have a jump ball. Instead of just admitting that nobody knows what happened, and you let the replay be the ultimate decider.
What they should see is a turd pie in their face. That's what they should see. They'll see that.
But then no. Gerald, it was a case of Wood was kind of picking up Hayes' lack of production, as opposed to a couple games ago where it was the reverse. So I think this is just going to be a kind of a sprinkling into what we're going to see throughout the season. But I'm glad that Christian Wood played well. Hopefully it portends to an efficient beginning to the year, because as we've seen, that ball is not coming out of the post if he gets it in there. He's pretty much the Al Jefferson Ronnie Cycli of his generation. That ball is an abyss once it goes into the post.
Once again, it's the Lakers, unfortunately, falling just a little bit short tonight, 129 to 125. Fourth game of the exhibition schedule. The Lakers' next game is Sunday, 4 p.m. against the Milwaukee Bucks. But Joe, tonight, again, you got to be satisfied with what you saw in the first half. 70 points, another high-octane first half for the Lakers. That seems to be a growing trend so far in the exhibition season, where you see the majority of the starters playing with each other. Are you encouraged by that? Because obviously can't expect 55% from behind the arc every single half, but it seems they're finding ways to score and score well in the first half when they do have all their starters or all those guys out there.
I don't know if they keep making their shots, so maybe we can expect it. What I don't want to expect is 62% from the free throw line. That was the only bad part tonight, and that's likely what cost them the game. But most of those shots that were missed were from our secondary players. So with that, we're in a position now where the team already has an identity. Remember how we were talking about identity a lot the last few years? What's this team's identity? Well, the team's identity right now, what they're developing is they're developing depth and they're developing ball movement. And if they start making shots, you are going to have a problem. Because if you're going to make shots, that means AD is going to be in one-on-one situations, and LeBron's give and go offense is going to be off the charts. I didn't see too much fast breaking, right? That was a big part of our game during the title year. And the reason why that was is because usually LeBron was the initiator, right? He was the guy that would push the ball. That's why he won the assist title that year. So I don't assume that I'm not going to assume that they're going to be doing something similar to that, but I think what they are going to do is they're going to push the ball up, they're going to move the ball, create space with the guys that they have right now. Christian Wood being a big part of that, especially if he can play with AD. And the Lakers are going to be able to basically shoot with not a lot of people in their way. And if they make those shots, they can't sag anymore. No team can sag. You're going to have to go one-on-one, and you're going to have a problem then if you have to deal with AD and LeBron one-on-one. So I'm very happy, guys. I really am. I was happy. I told you before.
Until that bad call by the refs.
The bad call was more of a reaction to stupidity. It was even beyond basketball. I cannot understand how, if I'm in a room with those clowns, okay, just imagine this for a second, okay? I walk in. Imagine me walking in and I turn the TV on and those idiot refs are there and hopefully Adam Silver's there because he needs to be there. Okay, guys, I have one question. Just indulge me. You play it. What is this? You see how Jalen got hit in the face? You guys called a foul on that. And then you see this? I'll rewind it. You see this? He got hit in the face. He got hit in the face. You guys gave flagrant ones all mother effing year last year because of that. Hold on. Let me rewind it again. I'm going to rewind it. He got hit in the face. You called a foul while it was going. And then you reversed it. Why? I want to know why. Why did you reverse it? There's two reasons why you reversed it. Either you're an effing moron or you're blind. And it looks like you all walked in here, so I don't think you're blind. So what does that leave us? And you didn't give you know what that could have maybe done, to Hood Schifino? Could you imagine? He gets to the line, we're down one, he hits both free throws, the Warriors come back, miss a shot, we get the rebound, we win the game. You have any idea what that does to his psyche? They just took that away from him because they're idiots. Pure, stupid idiots. There's no other way to look at it. And you ruined what was really a good game with your stupidness. How do you justify that? Everybody can see it. Go ahead, go look at it if you recorded the game. You get hit in the face and you don't call it a foul. I don't know what is a foul anymore then. What's a foul? Oh, he didn't hit he hit the ball. Dude, the hand hit him in the face on the follow-through. By the way, that's a great movie. Fargo.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Go ahead, Sean.
I got shot in the face. That's what Joe sounded like.
Just a little bit. But
It's-
okay,
I mean-
it doesn't set a good precedent, and the Lakers got two
Not this
technical
year, it
fouls
doesn't.
again in the game as well.
I mean,
In the
could you
exhibition
imagine?
game.
Just imagine if this was a regular season game. Imagine.
I don't want to because I
Okay?
would protest.
This
I
is
would
just
protest.
nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. I would have even bought Lewis, Mr. Celtic, Lewis, if he had said, I didn't see the arm. I was paying attention to the ball. Okay, I'll buy that. Just buy it. I'll buy it. Let's say we buy it. He didn't see it. This one, they had a chance to go, get tea, get some crumpets, watch what they already called was a foul and non-foul after looking at the guy get hit in the face. 3 guys. And whoever was in New York. What the hell was the guy in New York doing? What's his job? Huh? Slapping
He's
his
probably
hand?
asleep. It's late
Huh?
for him. It's
What are they
past
doing in New York?
12 midnight.
Yeah, exactly. Because
This doesn't make sense. When it doesn't make sense, you have to talk. You have to speak up. What's going on? What's going on? Like, what's going on? I just want to know what's going on. Why?
oh no, definitely. I mean, Rob and Darvin Ham are definitely going to send that to the NBA.
Oh, are they going to apologize?
Of course they will.
Is that what they're going to do? They're going to apologize
Of course,
for the
they
8th time?
are.
Okay, thank you. You know where you can stick that apology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right up Park Avenue.
Because if this was a regular season game, that's a big call.
It was terrible. I mean, beyond terrible. The preseason game or not, it's just I don't know. I wanted to really start the show with feeling good.
Positive.
It's because you point to what's positive and you point to what's stupid. I mean, I guess those things sometimes go hand in hand at the same time. But the Lakers look good. They look good. And if these guys don't get injured, man, we are in for a fun season. I'm not saying we're going to win it all, but man, this is the best team, in my opinion, since 2020. Might even be a little better if they continue to progress.
Once again, the Lakers unfortunately lose 129 to 125. It is Joe Soro, aka Ox9247 from LakersBall.com, and Simblades with a Y.com, along with the Magic Man Sean Grice. And Magic Man, I do want to go ahead and look at also as well Rui Hashimura. Rui just seems like plus 11 today, 8 points, just seems to be cruising. I think he's his time spent with LeBron. I think he learned a lot of things this summer, and I think the realization that he signed a nice contract. He doesn't really need to prove too much right now. He just needs to find a rhythm. And even though the numbers don't scream out at you anything, just seems like so far in the exhibition season, he's just been going through the motions and doing just fine.
Yeah, absolutely, Gerald. Seems like it's just steady Rui. 13 to 25, anywhere from 8 to 14 to 6 to 14. Rui's like I think it's been a while since he shot less than 40% from the field, Gerald, in a Lakers game. So he's hitting his shots, and like you said, I think he's just more comfortable now. It feels like he's finally comfortable, and he can just roam around and decide whether or not he wants to be off the ball or on the ball. Made a great pass down low to Anthony Davis in the first quarter. Found a mismatch. He was on Chris Paul. Back to the basket in the post. TJD tried to come over and help a little bit, Gerald, but Rui found that wraparound pass. It was a nice little accent to what he's been learning, because obviously, Gerald, like you said, he's been a sponge this year with LeBron. It's paying dividends already.
I will ask you though, Joe, one name that has done pretty good in the short amount of games he's been in there, like LeBron, limited time action, was Austin Reeves. He looked really comfortable distributing, also as well, 6 of 9 for today, 16 points. Really solid today's work. I was really impressed with him. Seems to be coming in. You don't want to overwork him or overtax him. Intel Wild put the super chat in there, effing morons. I agree. So he agrees with you on the refs, Joe. But Austin Reeves, getting back to him, really solid in today's game and really looking like he's ready to go for the regular season.
He had 15 points, and I didn't even know he did. A lot of times you can judge a player's performance by it. You haven't really noticed what he's done, and all of a sudden he's got 15 points and 8 rebounds. So it looks like he's getting to that level of, this is just what I do. I'm about him. So since he's about him, and one of his monikers is Hillbilly, Gerald, you'll appreciate this being a wrestling fan. So should his new name be Hillbilly Him? Like Hillbilly Jim?
Very good.
So I think we should start calling him Hillbilly Him, because he's him. And tonight, he was him. Unnoticeable, too, at least to me. But then again, I was paying attention to Christian Wood and Torian Prince. We already know who Austin Reeves is. I think his defense is a little loose, let's just say. I saw some defense there that I'd like to see him tighten up a little bit. But other than that,
you're talking about Christian Wood, correct?
No, I'm talking about Austin Reeves.
Okay.
And then Rui, as far as Rui, you had mentioned Rui. Rui looks very comfortable. Looks like he hasn't even taken anything off from the end of last year. Loved his ability to get to his spots. Loved the shots. Loved the shots going in. I just think everyone's doing their work, man. I'm very, very excited, guys. I can't say it enough. I was excited after the second preseason game, actually, and I'm looking forward to finishing off the next couple games so that we can get ready to go here against Denver to start the season. And if we can win that game, we can start putting the worry on teams. Once you do that, letting everybody know, hey man, we're here to come back, and we got to get number 18 up in that rafter, man.
So I asked Sean this question. Okay, so far we've seen some very impressive first halves by the Lakers when they've been playing their guys. And it's led to a lot of 65, 70, 75 point outings so far in the first half. Obviously, very good numbers offensively. What kind of confidence does that give you heading into the regular season?
A lot better than last year, that's for sure.
That's like a night and day, my friend.
Yeah, it is night and day. I kind of feel spoiled this year, Gerald, with those offensive outbursts. Definitely, not a lot of trepidation or nervousness as like last year when those first 2 games we shot like 2 of 44, 2 of 45 from distance. Look, there's gonna be dry spells for all these guys coming up. Like sometimes they're just gonna end up in the desert, but hopefully with the depth we have, Gerald, it feels like it's not gonna be 3 or 4 guys in the desert at the same time. A couple guys are gonna be able to find a body of water. Especially if Torian Prince continues to shoot the lights out. He's going to be wet for 82 games and into the playoffs. That poses well for the Lakers. So, I would say from last year to this year, last year out of a confidence meter of 10 on our shooting, I was at like a -4. Mm-hmm. And this year, I think I'm at like a +6, +7. Feel a lot better.
I feel a lot better right now. Obviously, they seem to be meshing very well, Joe, on the offense. Let me ask you this. I know you said you were really seriously, I guess, concerned about the defensive part because the Lakers did give up 63. And each of these games, obviously, when you're scoring so much, You have a lot of possessions. You're giving the other team a lot of chances to go ahead and score baskets on their own. Obviously the 70 to 75 points a game the Lakers have been, scoring in the first half has been great. But is the 60 to 65 points in the first half that they've been giving up be of any concern for you in these first 4 games?
Well, if you're gonna play fast and want more possessions, you're gonna have to likely loosen a little on defense, because you can't play shutdown defense in a free flowing game. If you look back in the 80s, I think the average points per game were 110, 111, if I can remember correctly. And that's pretty much where we're at right now in this era. And would you say that Michael Cooper and Andrew Toney and Mark Eaton weren't good defensive players with teams scoring 110, 111 points every game? No. It's just a different NBA, guys. You're not going to really get too many shutdown guys. And then again, you do have a shutdown defensive player of the year who was a guard who was not very effective for the Boston Celtics in the playoffs because he couldn't make shots. So we play good defense, timely defense, make shots. We need to make shots in the NBA now. Defense is okay. I'd say the defense in the NBA is very reminiscent of the running back in the NFL. Yes, it's nice. It's a luxury to have good defense and a good running back, but it's not a necessity. You don't need a Gary Payton in his prime or a Dikembe in his prime to win. If you don't believe me, Rudy Gobert has 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. What's your assessment on his game and what he's done in his career from a winning standpoint? You guys know
I understand. I get that, but you're not concerned at all that they could go ahead and rectify this. Any defensive issues are concerned by the time the playoffs roll around.
Well, I don't know if necessarily it's a problem. I just think this is what it's going to be. If they can, you do have the ultimate defender, and when you need to stop somebody, we have somebody. We do have a Deion Sanders on our team, and that's Anthony Davis. So, but you can't have a stout defense. You can't play shutdown defense and expect to run and gun and try to make shots and get a rhythm in opening the floor and getting open shots for threes for a 48-minute game, especially when you have an older player who needs to not play a lot of minutes. If this was LeBron James, Miami, hell yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want at that point. You can play lockdown defense, you can run and gun, you can dunk on people, you can shoot, but we're not in the position there. Right now, this team's identity already is floor spacing, get the ball to the open guy, make the shot. And then when you need to, get the ball to Anthony Davis and let him do his thing.
So, Sean, let me bring it back to you. I mean, obviously, the Lakers shot very well in the first half, which led to their lead. Is this something that you can see continuing? Because, again, we've stressed on it all summer, at least I have. The Lakers, on 31 attempts, they were 25th in the league in accuracy as far as being able to shoot the ball. Also, they were one of the teams that were shot the least amount of threes. So I ask you, my friend, are you obviously looks like the Lakers are more prepared to shoot a lot more threes this season. Are you actually confident that the Lakers will improve on both those numbers going forward? And do you think it's a good idea taking away from what they did in last season, now focusing more on the three-pointer this season?
Good questions, Gerald. I think statistically they should be better. Now, that doesn't mean that they will be necessarily. The fact of the matter is that, in the regular season last year, Gabe Vincent did struggle shooting the three. This is true. And there were times when Austin Reeves struggled, especially in the first half and a little bit of the second half, but got better in the last 2 months. I would say, Gerald, I think we're hoping for the same thing. I think we'll finish somewhere between maybe 20th and 15th, maybe 17th, 18th in the league. That's if we're average or just a little below average, it's going to mean a higher efficiency for the offense. The offense will be a little bit better. I would also say that our half-court offense would also obviously be better if the three-point percentage went up. Our half-court offense was garbage, garbage, garbage. Let me repeat that: garbage.
Or wait, actually,
Don't you
based
mean
off of
rubbish?
playback. Yeah, don't you mean rubbish? That's exactly what I was going to say.
Rubbish, sure. We'll call
We're
it rubbish.
sophisticated here.
Rubbish, compost,
Junk.
Junk. It
Yeah,
was.
we're
So that
Watch
that's
out, Joe's buttoning up his shirt.
that's also part of the reason of hopefully bringing in a Christian Wood and a Gabe Vincent for a shot in the arm in that half court offense, Gerald, because it looks like they were trying to be efficient there. They had I think between the two games Vincent and Wood were in there, they had about that's not a good look for you, Joe. You kind of look like what's that guy's name from Friday? Debo.
with a
Looks like he's
turtleneck.
gonna.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to go into the priesthood.
Yeah.
But let me say this though. When Gabe Vincent was not in the lineup today, he's a streaky shooter. You saw him shoot well the last exhibition game, but struggle in the previous two. So he's going to give you again. His shooting is probably going to be somewhere in the mid 30s, and that's probably pretty much what you can expect. Him, we're going to use a little bit more for on-ball point defense against smaller guards, and to be able to try and settle down the offense, to be able to play well enough functionally in the half court. That's why he's here. Torian Prince, Christian Wood, D'Angelo Russell, and of course also as well Austin Reeves. Those are the shooters for us right now. Those are the guys that are going to have to get it done. I mean, if you're expecting LeBron and AD to shoot more, that's fine. We talked about it. We discussed it. Zangerstein and I went back and forth on it. But the efficiency-wise, Sean, it's going to have to come from those four guys.
Yeah, 100%. Gerald, in battle, if your catapults are not working, what do you need to do instead?
Well,
you storm the gates. You storm the gates, right? And Gerald, do we have the requisite drivers and high IQ players if the shots aren't falling, that they understand that we can always reset and look for a better shot, for a better person? Because you're right, that's another reason why Vincent's in there. He wasn't in there tonight, but he's the brain out there when LeBron and AD aren't. And if we've seen it, Gerald, Austin Reeves, Rui Hashimura, and even Christian Wood now, they all can get hypnotized and just very fascinated with iso ball, and to the detriment of the team, because oftentimes what happens is a player goes into that iso out of the offensive flow that we're already in. That didn't happen today. It didn't happen today. There weren't really a lot of really scattered iso situations. It was everybody kind of playing in a circle, and that's what I'd like to see, even if the shots aren't falling.
Well, Zangerstein says, if your shots are falling, driving is easy, Magic Man and Joe, but also if the opponent respects your shooting, the lane is also there.
Yeah, hold on, wait.
Let me just finish this, Magic. We were discussing back and forth, Zangerstein and I, back and forth on what, and I know Joe was in the actual chat room at the time when we talked about what Darvin Ham said about just having AD shoot 6 threes a game. They don't respect AD shooting. They're giving him that. So if that's the case, the lane won't be there if they don't respect your shooting. That just, I don't know. I don't want to go back into the argument I had the other day with Zangerstein.
Well, you don't need to, but I mean, while that is true, how do you explain the fact that in back-to-back years the Bucks played Z's way, and then they played it the other way, and they ended up losing in a 5-game series against the Heat. Because you know what? The Heat weren't making all those shots. The Bucks had a 15 and a 16-point lead in games 3 and 4, Zangerstein, and Miami didn't shoot their way out of it. They started moving the ball and hitting their mid-range shots. So, you know what? I agree with you, Z, but guess what?
It's just who is taking those shots,
Yeah,
Joe and Sean. That's what I'm worried about. Is just if you're asking AD,
yeah,
who has been
Gerald,
under,
there are different ways to skin a cat. Like
Yeah.
it's not always as simple as if. Of course, if you're hitting the open shots, the lanes will be open. Of course, but there are different ways to skin that cat, even if the shots aren't falling.
Exactly, until but has he proved he can consistently knock them down at any point in his career outside the playoff runs?
Oh yeah,
No.
no, he hasn't.
He hasn't.
He shot 50. Okay, so AD shot 15 threes total last playoffs. 15 in 16 games. And me and Gerald went over this the other day. The most he's ever shot in a season is 3.5, and that was during the bubble season. And it declined significantly the next season. He went from 3.5 attempts to 2.8. A quarter, he leveled off a quarter of his attempts.
He's been under 30% the past 3 seasons. That's the only thing. And Joe, so let me ask Joe this. Let me get Joe into this. And thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. I'll come back to you on this, but I wanted to get Joe because he's not been here to go ahead and talk more about this. Is that when you hear Darvin Ham telling AD to shoot, he wants him to shoot 6 times a game. I don't think, like Zangerstein said also as well, admittedly, he's not going to shoot it 6 times again, but that just means he wants him to take more threes. Is that really a good idea, Joe?
If he hits 2 out of the 6.
But he's only been at 33% 2 or 3 times in his career.
What's 2 out of 6?
Hey, Joe. So AD,
that's 33%. But again, he's been statistically only at that level 2 or 3 times in a 12-year career. Just answered your
question.
Well, again, you're not, but you didn't answer it by saying a yes or no.
Point is, I don't know necessarily if Darvin Ham said that in saying that he's going to make him shoot 6. I think
no, but he said he would like him to.
If the opportunity presents itself and it's within the offensive scheme, yeah. And today he made one, didn't he?
He did make one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I don't really care about the semantics of this. All I care about is what I saw today was I saw ball movement and I saw wide open shots, and it wasn't just 1 or 2 guys. It was 4 and 5 guys, and they made the shots. You do that, and it doesn't matter if he's shooting 6, 10, 4. That means everyone's getting their thing. It opens up the lane even more. Now, if you roll the ball back a different way because you're not worried about AD shooting the shot, now it's going to open up other things for everyone else. So I can see the concept. I can see why he's doing it or suggesting it. But the Lakers are going to have to go another level here, guys. They're going to have to get better. Even LeBron and AD need to be a little bit better in the areas that they weren't good at. So what was LeBron not good at last year?
Shooting threes.
Shooting threes. What was AD not good at doing last year?
Shooting threes.
Shooting threes. Even shooting mid-ranges. So improve a little there. How are you going to improve unless you actually take the shots? So that's your answer there.
I just think the more you ask
and again,
outside, the less you're getting inside where he's really more efficient.
This team's going to be able to adapt to who they play. So if you're having one of those nights where no one's hitting anything and you got to stop the other team, that's when you put Vando and Gabe Vincent in the lineup. And you have AD, Rui, and then LeBron. That team's going to be more defensive oriented. They're going to be more doggy-like, right? They're going to be on you one-on-one. So this team is versatile if you need to go that route. That's something you should understand as an 82-game season goes on. We're going to have several nights where we're not making shots, especially now with load management being curtailed a little. But the horses look like they're ready to run here, guys. We're probably going to know shortly. We have a very difficult schedule to start the season. If these guys come out the gate 10-5, the NBA is going to have a problem with the Lakers.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers unfortunately lose 129-125. Their next game is 4 p.m. on Sunday. Please join us. Playback.tv / Lakers fast break. Sean,
So Z, before you go on, I have to, answer this.
I'll bring it up.
For those of you who've ever played sports, you ever heard of rhythm, consistency, feel? If you guys are going to expect somebody to be consistent playing 6 minutes, I'm sorry, not going to happen. Okay? 20 minutes, yes. 25 minutes, yes. But we have to understand that this team has some depth, and this team has a certain philosophy coming into this year that everybody needs to be on the same page and understand. It's going to be very, very, very matchup heavy. They are going to set these lineups. They'll still probably have the same starting lineup all year because that's important too. But we are going to be, or I should say, the Lakers are going to have matchup decisions that Darvin Ham is going to make, depending on who they play and how that day is developing. And players, Lonnie Walker, perfect example. I'm going to bring it up more and more as the time goes on because everybody remembers what happened. And it's important to remind people of that because when the hell did Lonnie Walker play until that playoff game against the Warriors? I actually don't remember. But what did he do? He didn't bitch. He didn't whine before. He got called. He actually helped win a playoff game. So it's possible, especially in the regular season. He can do it in the playoffs. These guys, if they bought into the system, if they bought into what's going to happen or what they want to do, these guys can do the same. And that's the mentality they need to get in. They need to have to go in the season. And right now they're showing that they are.
So, Sean, we bring it back to you, my friend. Again, I don't mind them taking more threes. To me, it's just about the fact that you brought in and you've developed guys who can shoot the three more efficiently. My thing is that instead of having AD shooting extra threes, keep him where he's best suited and then allowing the guys who are supposed to hit the threes and take more threes because of it.
Yeah, I'm like I don't understand why everybody is now trying to turn Anthony Davis into Dirk Nowitzki. He's not Dirk. He's not going to be Dirk. He never was Dirk. His game is the bread and butter mid-range, mid-post in, 16 feet in. That's his game. We saw it last year, Gerald, and obviously partial of 21-22, he's been struggling with his mid-range. It's been a little off. And, I don't want a player who averages 26 and 12 spending mindless and meaningless possessions, empty calories, below the three-point line, shooting shots that other guys on the floor are better equipped at to make than he is. Mm-hmm. And Gerald, we've also talked about our rebounding issue. So you're going to take your best rebounder and move him as far away from the basket as you physically can multiple times a game? I don't know. That sounds like people are chewing on too much peyote. Expecting him to all of a sudden become this world-beating shooter. That's not his game. We know what AD's capable of.
Because the Lakers have been rebounded virtually. I think, I don't know if every game, I'd have to go back and look, but they've been rebounded in most of the games so far this exhibition season, and they were out-rebounded tonight.
Yes.
By a substantially smaller
team. Yes. And comments were made throughout our chat, and comments were made throughout everybody else's chat or living room talking about the same thing. The Warriors look small. The Warriors look small compared to the Lakers, Gerald. oh, look at the Warriors, they're small. Oh, yes. And according to the box score, that small team out-rebounded you. Can't happen. Can't happen.
And Zangerstein is still saying, how many threes did AD take so far in the exhibition season? That's not within the flow of an offense. The thing is, when you have him outside at the 3-point line, that's not utilizing him in the best flow of an offense shot.
No, it's not, Gerald, because the scouting report says the further you can get Anthony Davis out on the perimeter, the less effective he is. Everybody knows this. Everybody. This is a Dirk Nowitzki. If you flashed Dirk on the perimeter, Dirk was able to do one of two things that AD cannot do. He was able to, on a dime, flip you over, put you back to the basket, like 18 feet back your ass down, and shoot over you. AD does not have that assertion, Gerald. We know it. It's an aggression that you need if you're going to play that high volume 3-point shooter as a power forward and center. It's not there. 16 feet in, it's his game. The other thing that Dirk could do is he could just turn around and shoot over you if he wanted to at the 3-point line. Again, AD is not an efficient 3-point shooter, and definitely not turning around either. So there are a couple requisite skills that you need to improve upon if you want to improve upon a skill. Yes, shooting is a learned skill. Anybody can get better at it. That's true. No question about it. But the fact is, some people are good at certain things, and they should just stick to it. I mean, if I had a girlfriend, Gerald, and she wants to learn how to drive stick, am I going to pull the car over based on Joe and Zangerstein and anyone else's advice and say, "Oh, you can't drive stick? Okay, well, just go out and learn." And then the clutch gets flooded, and then I have, yeah, not a good idea. And that happened to me once, so that's it. But that's another story. But yeah, no, that's not a good idea. So sometimes Gerald's right. You got to stick with what works, and what works with AD is 16 feet in. Yeah, of course you want to see a sprinkling of threes for a little change of pace, a little diversification.
It's like with Joel Embiid. Do the Philadelphia fans absolutely love Joel Embiid taking threes? No, they don't.
No, and neither does he. But he said,
he likes threes. He said he likes to shoot.
At first, he didn't, Gerald, because Ben Simmons wasn't shooting them. That's why he was forced into taking them, right? Okay. Now he does. Because he's gotten better at it, right? Because they asked him to get better at it. But yeah, exactly, Gerald.
It's still not where he's best suited. You throw it down underneath and have him do, what he can on virtually every other center of the league. But Joe, let me ask you a little bit about the rotation before we head on out. The back end of the rotation, some of the guys that we did get to see today, as far as the back end of rotation is concerned, we got some minutes out there from Christian Wood, got some minutes out there from Rui Hashimura. These are guys who are expected to be coming off the bench on a regular basis for us. Who else stood out as far as players that you need to see a little bit more of as far as so they could be considered a part of the rotation?
I don't think we need to see anyone else, honestly. I think looking at, let's say, 8 to 9, right? You're looking at LeBron James, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, Rui, Austin, Gabe Vincent, Vanderbilt, Taurean Prince, Christian Wood. I guess
would you put this is where you get the Jackson Hayes. This is where you get to Max Christie. This is where you get to Cam Reddish.
I don't know how that's going to turn out, guys. There's just not enough minutes for everyone. If you're running an 8 and 9, I don't know who else. It's going to have to be one of those things where Gabe Vincent's out because of his back or his leg, or LeBron might have sprained his ankle and he's out for a week, or, that's when those guys can all kind of maybe pull their own weight. There's just not enough minutes, guys. And what the Lakers did in the offseason is they planned for this so that in case these injuries, these little knick-knack things do pull up, they've got reinforcements that could come in and fill in the gaps. That's essentially what that's going to be. And that's what I would say 9 to 12, 9 to 14, those guys have to understand that that is their value to this team. Now, if Max Christie come January starts hitting 3 threes in each game and is playing stout defense, that's a guy that can change his destiny because he's actually a player that can do both. And he's got length. So he's got the physical attributes. And if he's doing what he's supposed to do on offense and then on top of that defense, then that can shift. That can shift. I don't see Cam Reddish. He's like a one-way street. I don't know if that's ever going to really have a lot of value unless.
Plus, he got hurt, so you really haven't gotten to take a good look at him.
And Jackson Hayes, guys, Jackson Hayes is just he's Jackson Hayes. Okay, he's Jackson Hayes. He'll have some value here and there, but I'm just not looking at Jackson Hayes and Cam Reddish and any of the young guys as guys that are going to tip the scales. They're just not, and they don't need to. That's the beauty of this. They don't need to. They have enough guys, and they showed it today, and they showed it against the Kings. They even showed it a little even the first time they played the Warriors in preseason. I saw a lot of the games between those three, and I saw every second tonight. I am already satisfied, and I'm ready for the regular season because I think this team is going to really, really ball. They're going to compete, even if they, let's say, lose the opening night. I don't see them getting blown out by 20, even in Denver. So compete. You lose a couple close games to good teams, that's fine. And if you don't believe me, you watch the 2020 Lakers. They were beating every team they were supposed to beat. They were losing close games against the really good teams. They'd win one here, one there, but they were losing to the really good teams, and then it shifted in February. And then they start beating them. So I'm okay. Competition, being competitive, those are the things I look at, especially when it comes to an 82-game season. That's what's important. Are you improving? Are you getting better? Are you doing the stuff you're supposed to do? Because if you lose to a team that's good, and it's competitive, hey, that's sports. You have to understand that. And right now, I still see them actually being really good, especially if they can withstand this first month strength of schedule. They come out this first month playing well and having a good record. That means this is just going to get better and better for them as the year progresses.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers unfortunately lose 129 to 125. Magic Man Sean Grice, Joe Soro, me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Be a part of our playback.tv/Lakers fast break live game coverage Sunday, 4 p.m. against the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard are expected to play in that game. Maybe LeBron won't, from what I was reading. And so it looks like Magic Man, I will say on the air, it looks like more and more that you may be right. And as what was inferred by, I think it was Dave McMenamin in the tweet earlier today, that he played today, but he probably will not play on Sunday, which I'm kind of a little bit disappointed because it would have been nice to see, against a team that's one of the favorites to go for the title. But be that as it may, the Lakers, though, today did a little bit more of what we're used to seeing from last year that they did so well. They got to the line 11 more times than the Golden State Warriors and, just basically just killed them on the fast break, 20 points to 7. But still, after all that, the rookies unfortunately managed to go ahead and allow the lead to be evaporated. And unfortunately, you saw what you saw at the second half. But the Lakers have got to shoot better than 62% for the free throw line. If you are going to go to the free throw line 11 more times than your opponent, it's unacceptable that you shoot so bad from the line, Magic Man.
Yeah, Gerald, bad recipe to try and win a basketball game, right? Not hitting your free throws, getting out rebounded badly in the last 24 minutes. Just it sounds like that was part and parcel of why we let a lot of games slip through our fingers last year. Just that attention to detail and not being able to hit your free throws. A little frustrating, absolutely. And Well, I appreciate the kudos, Gerald. It doesn't really mean a whole hill of beans, uh, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I just had an inkling that this is the Warriors, and if you're, uh, you know, a young family, maybe that's your only game this year, and even if it's in the preseason, tickets are still fairly expensive at the Crypt. So being able to take family to see LeBron and Steph, Steph's an exciting player for anyone. Giannis and Dame. I hear you, Gerald. As a hoop head, that would be an exciting game. But I think LeBron understands the same thing that Michael and Kobe did. Is that if I'm available and I can play for the working man, I will. So hats off. And like you said, Gerald, McMenamin basically said that he's probably not going to play Sunday, and is he going to play in Palm Springs, Gerald? I hope he only plays the first half. If he doesn't need to play the whole game. We're still a little less than a week out from Thursday because I think the season starts 24th, so that'd be the Wednesday. Yeah, I think if he wants to play, he wants to play. I really hope he does it though.
So let me ask you this, Joe. Of course, the rookies, you saw some good things from Colin Castleton. You saw some good things from Demoy Hodge. First really good exhibition game for him today. But once again, JHS, like you talked about with the confidence issues that he may have, especially after the bad call on him, pretty good going in through the lane and actually did some nice passes, but overall struggled again. He has not found his shot at all at any point in time in the exhibition or the summer league. It just seems to be very concerning. Meanwhile, a guy that was picked 2 picks after him, Brandon Proziemski, on the court, been very impressive for the Warriors in both the games against the Lakers. When you see that from a guy that was picked 2 picks behind JHS and you see JHS still continue the struggle, what does that tell you, Joe?
It doesn't tell me anything yet. We've discussed another player. I'm not going to mention his name.
Cam Whitmore?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean. You were saying?
Yeah. Cam Whitmore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say Pam Black less, but I think people would have figured out what it was.
Yes.
But the it doesn't really matter. I feel like I'm reiterating this. He does not need to be great now or good at this point.
No, but he needs to have signs of improvement, and we just have
I
not even seen the smallest
really
signs.
care. I don't really care about Hood Shafino right now and whether he's needs to show us something.
If there's an injury, you might need to worry about it.
Good luck. The Lakers might have made a huge mistake there, and then they're one of many teams that might have made a huge mistake, which is why it gets brought up, because we saw something unprecedented in the NBA. You usually see this in the NFL. You don't see it in the NBA. You don't see a freak athlete who can ball. And it was, from my recollection, not a guy that's got problems, like mental problems. You don't see a guy like that that's a top 5 pick potential wise go down to the 20. That's why it's been a discussion that people can't seem to talk about. I know people are tired of it, but it's still an amazing situation that developed. And then you see him play in the preseason, and he is jumping out the building. Guys, this is an NBA. These are the greatest athletes on the planet. NBA players, guys that can jump over cars, guys that have big hands, guys that can long jump very, very far if they have to, things like that. So when you have a chance to find the right guy, or if the right guy falls in your lap, you need to take advantage of it. At this point, it seems like the Lakers are playing the long ball with Jalen, and we're going to have to wait. If Jalen hits shots, if he starts making shots a la D'Angelo Russell the next couple of years, then he'll be fine. But if he doesn't, he has no career in the NBA, at least not as a regular contributor.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do lose 129 to 125. We'll finish this conversation up on the rookies and whatnot, Sean, by saying again, not just Cam Whitmore, but again, outplayed for the second game in a row when it comes to the Lakers and Warriors by Brandon Posiemski, who was drafted 2 slots after what we saw from JHS. So your thoughts on that, my friend? Are you, I'm not saying I'm concerned as of yet, because again, it's so early in his career, but we have just not seen one good offensive game from JHS as of yet so far. I just would like to see the kid, like you said, for his confidence, like Joe said, for his confidence, need to just see one good game, one time where we can see a majority of his shots go in. I think that would help him a lot.
Yeah, Gerald, you never know. That could be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm sure his confidence is a little up in the air right now, and it shouldn't be. He's still a young man, and we talked about this before. He's not a finished product on the court or off. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm at this point in time just kind of rooting for him to have just a smidgen of a decent game offensively, so you can take some of that with you into the season when you're going to be assigned to the G League and the South Bay Lakers a lot. But yeah, I'm with you, Gerald. I just think for his confidence, he needs a better game, because as you said, look at these numbers for his opponent here. 4 for 8 from the field. Yeah, he's 1 for 5 from 3. We're talking about pods. But Gerald, he had 10 assists. 10 assists. He was really facilitating well against a Laker team that was playing their 9-man rotation, and he played well. And that says something to me. It may not say something to anybody else, but it says that player who's drafted behind JHS is ready to play in the NBA, although he may not with his team as well, may be forced into the G League, but he's more ready than JHS is. That's 100% sure, Gerald.
Well, the only thing is Zangerstein says Pod fits the Warriors because he's known as a shooter, and even on a day, you're right, he's a better shooter, by reputation than what we saw or what we were told from JHS. And I'm just telling you right now, Joe, with Podziemski, he didn't shoot well from behind the arc, but still found ways to make positive plays for the Golden State Warriors today. And he finished up with a plus 16, 10 points, 10 assists for the kid, and 6 rebounds. 4 of 8, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, but most of his shots inside he made. It's just these things where he's already getting it. You see when a kid like him gets it, that, okay, I'm not hitting from the outside, but I'm trying to contribute in other ways. That's what I want to see from JHS. You're starting to see a little bit, Joe, because again, his drives towards the basket, starting to make a little bit better choices. So if he's not shooting well from the outside or basically anywhere, at least going ahead and make his contribution in other ways.
He did command the offense pretty well with the
Mm-hmm.
the G League guys, I should say. But he didn't make his free throws either. See, that's the other problem. Is between him and Jackson Hayes, they only hit 2 free throws out of, I believe, 7.
Yeah.
It's 5 free throws in a close game. LeBron missed 3 too, which takes us up to 8. 8 free throws between those 3 guys. If they hit 4 more free throws, if they hit half of those,
and then Jackson Hayes 1 of 4 as well.
But I'm not expecting Jackson Hayes. Unfortunately, is the one guy that I've picked that will probably bomb, based off of the information that I've gotten from Pelican fans. I hope he doesn't, but that's likely the player that will not likely play well and be probably sitting the bench a lot, especially now that Christian Wood is here. If Christian Hood wasn't here, then you'd have to kind of maybe continue to put a square peg into a round hole in some areas, but Christian Wood kind of solved that problem. So I'm not too worried on that. And then he's kind of the backup or some kind of coverage for AD if he misses, let's say, 10, 12 games. Hood Shafino is feeling the heat, guys. If you guys think we're the only ones hearing the names before, after, or I should say after, really, he hears it. Trust me. These guys are all on social media. They spend half their life on there because they don't know any better. And he's hearing it. And I think he's pressing. I think a lot of the reasons why he's not shooting well and a lot of reasons why he isn't commanding the offense as much as he probably would like is because he is pressing. And plus, don't forget, he's playing for the LA Lakers. And he's playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
But we were saying these things in the summer league as well.
You were saying it. I didn't say anything.
You were saying he was absolutely awful.
I said he was awful, but I didn't go into detail.
Okay.
And, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the pick.
And hopefully he will change all of our minds on that as he continues to try and get more
hope
reps.
is for the dead fish in the sea. I don't get
well, the dead fish are hoping that Jalen Hood-Schifino
I don't care about
on his game.
I don't want to hope, okay?
He needs to work on his game, like you said.
I don't want to hear
earlier.
the word hope.
Well, I hope.
I don't want to hear the word hope. Do it. Just freaking do it. Either you do it or you don't.
I hope so.
Even your boy Yoda said that. So
my boy Yoda.
Don't act like I'm the only one that tells you that. Your favorite character says it too. So roll with that.
Well, I didn't know he was my favorite character. I don't have any Yoda things around the house.
What are you gonna do? Change Hood Shafino to Hope Shafino? Is that what you're gonna do next?
I hope he does. I hope he pans out.
Yeah, you hope you do. Okay, keep hoping.
I'm going to keep.
You'll be waiting for that hope.
Absolutely. Well, that's all dependent on him and
Drinking
how much work he
blue
puts
milk in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. I don't know how Jalen Hood-Schifino got into Yoda and that Star Wars reference. I think sometimes he goes a galaxy far, far away. But Magic Man, when it comes to JHS, again, I saw some things that I liked. Obviously him being able to penetrate and be able to dish, some good things there. But, he's got to go ahead and get a lot of reps. He needs a lot of minutes at the G League level. I really think that's going to be beneficial for him. If you're the coaching staff, is that what you're talking about when it comes to JHS?
17th overall pick is not supposed to be a G League player.
Well, okay.
I keep hearing this crap. Your 17th pick is not supposed to be a G League player. Just remember that when you're hoping.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Joe, do you really think he's going to do well just sitting there in his sweats right there in the Lakers sweats?
Just telling you.
DMP each and every game?
I'm saying this for those who are listening, who keep saying to us things. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Young Africa, Joe and I screamed that on draft night that we should have drafted Cam Whitmore. We just got
best emails. Player available.
We got
always.
We got yelled at. We got emailed how wrong we were or how we should not keep on talking about Cam Whitmore. But we see him 3 days ago get 15 points, and you see that.
Even if it's a bomb, this is something I need to make very clear. Even if you're risking a bomb, it's still the 17th pick. You're still the LA Lakers. You risk at 17 with an athletic freak, which is what that guy is. And imagine you guys went all this mental game with Christian Wood. That's why Christian Wood is playing ball right now, because Darvin Ham and Rob Pelinka were on the phone with him every single day. Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, what are you doing? You're talking about a guy who's got a big ego, right? He wants that money, right? Big ego, big ego. These guys were just coaching him. Hey, man, what's up? What's going on? He's wanted. These guys want to be wanted. Everybody wants to be wanted. The majority of people in the world want to be wanted, especially professional athletes who have large egos. They want to be wanted. Okay? Want.
Free Smoke, we agree with you. We agree with you, Free Smoke, but then we call it out and we tell like it is, the way he's playing right now, and what we wanted instead and we get called out.
And it's very important that you guys also understand that there's a lot of people out there that call it like it is. But some of those clowns are full of it too. The difference between those clowns and us is we actually back it up because we are in the results business. Results is all that matters. We still have some time, but why wait? I don't like to wait. I don't have patience. Get the guy now. Should have got the guy now. He bombs, he bombs. It's 17th pick. It's not trading up to get Markelle Fultz and destroying your entire process. Okay? It's 17. Get the best player available, please. This guy could have helped us. Could have been a better version of Shannon Brown with this team. Could you imagine that? But anyways, I'm not going to stick to that. I'm done. I've said that. I'm probably done with that discussion. I'm not going to have this discussion every damn week. This team right now is playing really, 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 really well.
Yes.
The players that matter, the players that are going to be in the rotation are playing very well. And a lot of them are young and hungry and showing what they're doing. Let's support that. Let's get past these next 2 games healthy and ready. And let's go to Denver and whoop that ass and start telling everybody who's coming.
Couldn't agree more myself. Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. The Lakers do unfortunately lose 129 to 125. Please join us for our coverage of the Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks Sunday at 4 p.m. Sean, it's going to be on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. What are you expecting come Sunday, or what are you looking at? You know, with 2 games left in the exhibition season, what are you maybe going to look at primarily as we get closer and closer to the regular season?
Yeah, Gerald, I hopefully Vincent's ready to go for the next game or so. But
Just a little bit of back stiffness, I heard. Yeah, nothing really too good.
Yeah, nothing too serious from
The
what
heel
it
on
sounds
Jared
like.
Vanderbilt's the one that's they say he's going to be ready for the regular season, but not getting the reps in is kind of concerning because he's supposed to be in your rotation, possibly even still a starter, depending on, who you talk to and who you ask, or who, what obviously on the mind of Darvin Ham. Also, you have the fact that Cam Reddish has played just a very small minutes here in the exhibition season. That looks like he's probably not. He's going to be buried on the bench, so he'll never even get any ups unless you really got some things going on with injuries. So I feel sorry for the kid because, again, this was somebody who I didn't want on the team, but I know that a lot of people had expressed a lot of interest on Cam Reddish. We heard it since December about, oh, look at the highlights here. Look at the highlights here. Why can't we get this guy in the Lakers? Well, we got this guy in the Lakers. He hasn't been able to do too much. I hope, sorry, Joe, that he feels better and gets well soon and gets an opportunity to play before the exhibition season ends.
Yeah, I agree, Gerald. Hopefully he does. And I agree with the last part of what Joseph Soro was saying there. Yeah, we're in win now mode, not win later mode.
No.
So win now mode means that who's ever playing the best at the time gets the lion's share of the minute, regardless of where the hell you think you're supposed to play or where you were drafted or whatever. It
Well,
doesn't
the thing
matter.
is, though, Magic Matt, if he plays well, he also becomes much more of a trade asset going forward. If this is a win now, and you're thinking in February you want to improve or upgrade a certain spot on your roster, JHS would be if he was playing well, would be a very tantalizing trade target for the Lakers, or trade asset for the Lakers, I should say.
You would think so on the face of that, yes. So if that's the case, yeah, Gerald, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't pull the shoot there and just say, yeah, we're in win now mode, and the development isn't worth the trouble right now, considering the fact that, as Joe reiterated in the summer and up until now, you can make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but you eventually got to own it and move on. And maybe that would be a situation that happens, Cheryl. I don't think so. Could be wrong, but it sounds like he's in their long-term plans. But I'm with you. If the situation arises where he's been playing well and somebody's on the phone willing to give the Lakers, uh, an impactful player, and they want a package which includes JHS, I guess he'd have to. But that's speculation. That's far down the road. I think at this point he can't help the big club at this point in time, Gerald. There's not enough. There's not enough minutes. It's only 48 minutes in a game. I don't even think there's a role enough for him to carve out, even if he was necessarily playing well. Because Gerald, we've seen it time and time again before, and this is more. This has more to do with the NBA and football than the other sports. Is after about 10 or 15 games, teams get enough film on you where they can break down tendencies and what you don't do very well. I'll just quick example. When the Miami Dolphins rolled out the Wildcat in the NFL, nobody really had a defense for it. But then an off season rolled around, they retried the Wildcat and really didn't work. Same thing in the NBA. We've seen it time and time again. Last year before, Paolo Banchero comes out guns a-blazing, and Cade Cunningham the year before as well. But after about 10, 15 games, you could bet they hit that rookie wall. There's enough film out there that people study your tendencies, study what you're not good at, and really focus their defense or a part of their defense on making you the worst version of yourself, not the best version of yourself. So for JHS's sake, he needs to, like we've been saying, like he needs to get actual playing time in the G League. He needs constant developing in the weight room, film room. He need everything, Gerald. I mean, and please, JHS, don't hire Lethal Shooter to be your shooting coach. Somebody else, because we saw what happened when Kyle Kuzma hired him, and Kyle only started shooting when he got rid of Lethal Shooter.
Kyle's still not a great shooter from behind the arc, but
no, he's not.
He loves to shoot anyways. He loves to shoot a lot. Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win. Unfortunately, no, they lost 129 to 125, but they will hopefully win on Sunday at 4 p.m. with the Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks. It will be on playback.tv/Lakers fast break. Joe, any last thoughts before we head on out, my friend?
No.
All right. You get ready for a rant on the refs, which you already did, or thoughts on the team, rotation.
That wasn't even my plan tonight, too. That happened at the end.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was excited about the show today.
Yeah. The Lakers were really good in that first half. That's what we need to take away, is that they looked really strong on the offensive end. They looked really good, getting the ball to the right people to make the right shots. That's what it's all about. And if they can go ahead and take that into the regular season, I think we're going to be very strong on where we think the Lakers can be in the NBA and the Western Conference. So for Magic Man Sean Grice, Joe Soro, it's me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again so much for watching and listening. Tomorrow, it is the Lakerholic Spotlight with Jamie Sweet, a.k.a. Yami Sweet, and of course, the #1 Lakers blogger that's out there, Laker Tom and Magic Man Sean Grice. He will be the babysitter for those two, as those two scream at each other for something. Who knows? Sean will just probably pick a topic and they'll start screaming at each other. That's why you watch it. That's why it's good. That's why it's Lakerholic Spotlight. We'll make sure it's covered for you as we head into another great Lakers weekend. And also, as well, we're going to go ahead and have a great time on Sunday at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And our post game, hopefully we can get Z on here talking the WNBA Finals, and also as well, of course, the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Looking forward to a great Lakers weekend right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Thank you, chat. You're the best that's out there for the Lakers right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Dan, Dan, Dan.